Forward TV. The world is thinking.
Same with feminism. A wonderful idea, which I've always been thrilled by, particularly when I was a schoolgirl. But when I got to university, I found that feminism, and here I think I'm agreeing with Tony, had been hijacked by people who were very, very much to the left. And you basically could not be a feminist if you were apolitical or right centrist or right of centre. The first meeting I went to, there was an enormous poster of Lila Khaled. I don't know if you remember her, a very, very famous woman terrorist, and a remarkable woman. But I kept saying to people, what on earth has this got to do with feminism, with women's issues in England today, with worldwide women? She's a terrorist. And the answer was that feminism is all about radical socialism, which actually led to a tremendous revulsion on all sides, not on all sides, on many sides, against feminism, and a betrayal of its early purpose to bring women together and make them work for each other and cooperate with each other. They have done to some extent, but there's been an enormous amount of, I'm not a feminist, but... And that's because early feminists in the 70s, second, third wave feminists, were bullied by people with very powerful political agenda. Another unexpected consequence of feminism was on the family. The feminist lectures that I ever went to and the consciousness-raising groups never dealt with what happens when you have children. And years later, when Gloria Frieden was asked what... I didn't mean Gloria Frieden, but Gloria Steinem was asked why she and her sort of fellow radicals had not talked about what to do, what a woman should do when she has children, how can she balance the various needs and wishes that children bring. She said, honey, we just didn't know. And those feminists were mostly all childless, and the whole force of the movement of women's movement had been built on an indifference to and ignorance of the importance of children in women's life and indeed of men's lives. So what's happened is that women have felt not only that they have the right to work, but almost the duty to express themselves through work. And for a long time, it was to say that you were a housewife or worked at home or looked after your children at home. That was a complete no-no, as if it was a betrayal of women's rights. What's happened is that women have been almost driven out of their homes by the history of their aspirations. And while I personally long to work, have always worked, I feel that women have been obliged to neglect their children by the force of this movement, which didn't take children into account. And you see the results everywhere. In affluent neglect, people with high-flying jobs who are never home, who hand children over to nannies, children being handed over to daycare and nurseries, which are regularly shown to be not good enough. So that's also part of the individuation, that we don't make sacrifices. We have rights and we don't make sacrifices to others for the wider good. That was originally part of my understanding of socialism.